Hi, สวัสดีค่ะ Today pretty much
สวัสดี
live
ครับ
Burnley
Hello.
Leeds. Yes. It's very special because we have guests from overseas. So today we have Pimo, Dr. Orot, stay with us, and we welcome Leeds supporter from Singapore and Malaysia. So could I ask the fan from Malaysia first? Can you introduce yourself and tell us how long you have been Leeds fans and how did you start to support the club?
Hi everyone, my name is Clement. I've been a Leeds fan since 1997. So it was that time the satellite TV entered into Malaysia market. So they promote heavily on Premier League football. So all my friends, we were in high school. Everyone pick a teams. As usual, everyone go for Man U, Arsenal, Liverpool. Uh, so I try to go be something different. Okay, I go for the something different. So and I'm a left footer. So that time Harry Kewell he caught my eye. So I follow Leeds since then.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. So, and what about your the Singapore fans? How did you land to support this team?
Okay, I'm Julian.
We can start.
Hi.
We can
Julian,
start.
you go ahead.
I've
You
been
go
a
ahead,
Leeds fan
Julian.
since.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks. Well, I've been a Leeds fan since 1992 during the Howard Wilkinson days.
Yeah.
The Shoot magazine centerfold that got me interested in the team back then because they were champions in '92. But it's also David Batty's fight. Whenever you see him play, that's the whole reason why it sparked the interest in the whole Leeds United team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like fight in mean like physical fight.
Physical.
That caught my attention with Leeds United as well.
The young boy
And,
loved it, right?
Yeah. And
Mhm.
yes, from Gregory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I started supporting Leeds, and I'm shameful to say because I'm so old. In '69, so it's been 52 years of following. It all started actually very very strange because my dad was watching football, and it was black and white television then. And so I asked him, I said, "What's that game?" He said, "It's called football." And I asked him, "Who's playing?" And he said, "Two teams." And I asked him, "What are the names?" And it didn't matter what the names were because it was black and white, and the football field was so poor in those days. It was all muddy. So the black team looked dirty with the shirts and the shorts, and the white team looked so nice and clean. So I said, okay, I'll support the white team, and it turned out to be Leeds. And that's how it all started. A very strange way, but a very long life commitment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. อันนี้ก็คือคุณเกรกนะคะ so just brief translation for our Thai viewers that คุณเกรกนะคะจากทีมสิงคโปร์นะคะก็คือเขาบอกว่าเขาอะดูดูฟุตบอลตั้งแต่สมัยที่มันเป็นจอขาวดำเลยนะคะแล้วเขาก็เห็นทีมลีดส์เล่นแล้วก็ใส่สีขาวแล้วก็ดูไม่สกปรกนะคะก็เลยเชียร์ทีมขาวนี่แหละ okay and yes and now พี่หมอ Dr. Orot how did you start supporting the club
Hi. First of all, I have to say selamat datang to all of you. Yes, and sawadi in Thai to Thai people.
สวัสดีครับ
Yes, sawadi krap. So I've been following Leeds since early 70s, but I may not be a regular watcher because by that time I think I was around 12 years old, and it was my first impression that as a boy, and I wrote a letter to the club asking for photograph of Paul Medley, Alan Clark, and Eddie Gray at that time. And after 3 months, I received a greeting with a club's letter and a small club gift like a stickers and requested autograph. And from the time, I think I knew that there is no any other clubs to follow apart from Leeds. it's my good impression since that time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, when I first start support the club, I also send letters to Leeds for Nigel Martin autograph as well. And but actually, so you guys have been a fan with the club for so long, and you must have faced this high and low of the club. What made you remain your support to Leeds throughout these years? So I think I can start with Gregory first.
Okay, I was just putting my microphone on. Okay. Uh, it's what I actually is I think is important is when you pick a team, you got to stay with the team because if you keep changing, then it becomes meaningless. So my commitment to the club was very important. I didn't want to be seen like many fans who just keep changing clubs. I mean, I want to be supportive to who I am with. All right. So I think that's very important. Then the other thing was that and Leeds is very much a family club. That's what I noticed even from the 70s. There's always this family feeling around it, and which is why the Leeds United Supporters Club Singapore, one of the three items, one of them is family. It's the same thing that it's in the club there. The other thing is that it's a different feeling watching on TV and going there, being there, hearing people singing, talking to people, getting to know people, meeting the players, and it's something that just starts to uh, reinforce and strengthen your commitment to the club that you want to support even further and further, and it just you can't stop. It's like a good habit. So
Okay.
those are the three things I would like. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So just brief translation สำหรับคุณเกรกนะคะก็คือเขาบอกว่าเขาเนี่ยชอบทีมลีดนะคะแล้วก็รู้สึกว่ามันเปลี่ยนทีมไม่ได้นะคะเมื่อเราซัพพอร์ตทีมนี้แล้วนะคะเราก็ต้องซัพพอร์ตต่อไปนะคะแล้วก็ลีดเนี่ยเหมือนกับทีมครอบครัวค่ะแล้วก็อารมณ์ที่ได้ไปดูในสนามเนี่ยมันไม่เหมือนกับอารมณ์ที่ดูผ่านจอทีวีเลยนะคะกับการที่ได้ไปเจอนักเตะแล้วก็รู้สึกถึงความเรียลตรงนั้นนะคะ So now let's move on to Julian. What about you?
Yeah, just like Greg, it's like, and like I said, Leeds are a team that always has that fight, and I think that's probably common with all of us, where we're not wishy-washy. We don't just support a club just because they're winning, So through thick and thin, through the years, I think my passion for the club is because of the fight that nearly all the players through the years always have. And I think that's the important thing. Like you can see why we're 10th in the league, right this year, right this season. You don't just have players who just get a weekly check, and then need players who have that fight. And what better a team than Leeds United? That's my reason why I support them.
Okay, cool. And what about you, Clement?
Well, honestly, I don't know. Okay, so I mean, since the first day I support Leeds, I think it's something deep inside myself. You see, so it's just become part of my life. So every day, early in the morning, I will just check everything about Leeds. Before the bets, I check again news, rumors, transfer news, any kind of news regarding Leeds. So I don't know. It's just part of my life.
Yeah, I get that feeling. What about you, Dr. Orat?
Maybe something different, but not much. My life has been up and down like Leeds. Sometimes life is so busy, especially during my education, my training, and during establishment. It's more than 40 years, and I feel that Leeds United is always in my blood, something like virus. And whenever I'm free, the symptom appears, and it will be partially subsided whenever I'm busy. So it goes up and down. So whenever I'm free, I will attend more with the clubs and the news. But during education and training and due to my careers, I won't have much time for that. But from now on, I think I will have more time.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's really cool. That's the very doctor talk when you compare Leeds to the
I have to say
virus.
it's like that.
Yeah.
Good virus to have, yeah.
Yeah, good virus. Stick with us. So actually, for our Thai fans, we are quite familiar with each other. But what about Leeds fans in Malaysia and in Singapore? How do you socialize, and what about the younger generations in your countries say about Leeds? Can I start with Clement, please?
Okay. So this the Leeds United Supporter Club has been there since 2005. Okay, so we have I mean the Leeds supporter that we know, we have around 100 of them. So 70 of them register as official members of LUSCM. Okay, so basically that's a very good number, very encouraging. Okay, but if you ask me about the breakdown, most of them again they are from the Don Revy era, they are from the Wilkinson era, so the 60, 70, 90, and also David Ferrari era. Unfortunately, since relegation, we don't really have any new blood, any new fans. But this year, I mean, with our performance and also with just like Julian say, how we perform, the fighting spirits. Actually, very surprisingly, we see a lot of younger generation. They are very interested in Leeds, and we have a few members actually converted from Liverpool, Chelsea. They find supporting Leeds is much more exciting. You see. And also, I think this is where, as a supporter club, this is where we come into pictures. What we try to do here is that we try to help Leeds United to expand the fan base. We want to give everyone a home in Malaysia.
Yeah, that's really cool. And so they can come to ASEAN and make a tour. And what about this in Singapore?
Yeah, you got to make sure they
Julian?
stay, Clement. Yep. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, Julian, you're from the
well, in
younger set.
Singapore, I
Maybe
think
you want to
it's
see.
the same story. Yeah, I think in Singapore it's similar to Malaysia. We have a lot of those guys from the Revy era. I'm from the Wilkinson era, and my really good friend DJ, he supported Leeds from the O'Leary era. So it's similar to the Malaysian fans. Like people are interested in watching us now because we play a good game, and hopefully we gain more traction with the younger fans. But in general, most of the supporters here in Singapore are probably in their 50s and 60s.
And so, Craig, do you agree?
Sorry?
Do you agree?
Yes, yes, and to add to what Julian said, it's very interesting because since Leeds have come into the Premier League, there have been a lot more younger people watching Leeds play. And in fact, our Facebook group has seen a lot of younger people coming and wanting to be part of the group because they just love the way Leeds play. So there have been a lot of requests that have come through. So maybe Julian hasn't seen that, but I've seen it because I'm one of the administrators. So I would agree with Julian. Yes, if you take when we formed back in 2001, I think 85% of us were 50s and 60s. There wasn't many young people. But this season,
like us.
it's been a lot more young people coming on board. So the idea, of course, is to keep them, sustain them, and sustaining them, we need to be together. But with this current situation, it's very hard together. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's quite similar to here as well. And is it likely that fans are going to enjoy the last game of the seasons in Ellen Road against West Brom and Bamford share to his new German defenders Koch that the sound from the fans were so loud that players wouldn't hear a thing. So for all of you, have you ever experienced watching the games in Ellen Road? So can I start with Clement first again?
Yeah, sure. I'm the lucky one. Okay, I've been to I watched 4 Leeds game before. Okay, the first one was actually, and I was saying I'm not sure about my lucks. Out of these 4, maybe I'll share 2 games with you. 2 are very interesting one. Okay, my first ever game was Sheffield Wednesday away game back in 2012. Thanks to Gregory who arranged the ticket for me. Okay, so I sat among the away fans. So, so what happened is that it was 1-1 when Leeds scored the equalizer. So one of the Leeds fans jumped out from the crowd and attacked Wednesday keeper Chris Cullen. So that moment, I tell you, I'm so lucky that I did not wear any Leeds shirt there. Okay, if not, I don't think I will be able to get out from the stadium. So it was total mess after the game. Okay, so that was my very first game back in 2012. And after that, I did try to make a few more attempts, trying to whenever there's chance for us to get promotion. So the last 2 seasons, I attended the last home game, and 2018-19 again another interesting one. We all know what happened. It was against Aston Villa. So Clich scored a goal when Villa had a man down. So I witnessed that uncontested goal. So Leeds Bielsa instruct the whole team to allow Aston Villa to score the goal. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of a lucky one. So whenever I go there, something special happen, for good or bad reason. Okay. And in fact, I still have a ticket on hand. I still have the Charlton game that's supposed to be last season. The game that we celebrate the promotion, we witness the magic moment of promotion. I still have the ticket. So I actually bought a championship ticket, and I'm glad that I will be able to use it to watch a Premier League game, hopefully next season.
Yeah, that's really cool, and I do agree that you have you are the special one. and yeah. So what about the Singapore side? Can I start with Craig then? Oh, I think Craig
Yes,
is on.
I have watched many Leeds games because I used to live in England. In fact, I used to live in a city which is a rival of Leeds. It's Sheffield, and I used to live in front of Sheffield United ground. So, but yes, I was a season ticket holder for quite a few years when I was there. That's why I say it's a very different feeling when you are there and you get to know people and you're singing with friends and like-minded people. But after leaving in 1994, I made a commitment to go back almost every year. So I went to watch Leeds games almost every year. And there was a certain period from 2000 to 2004. I was watching about 3 to 4 Leeds games a season. So because I had the opportunity to travel with my work, so I always took a trip to England. It's a it's just something that you cannot imagine when you're there. I mean, I agree, Clement. You know, it's a nice feeling whether you're there once or you're there many times. Every time you go back, you know, the feeling is great, and I get all these goosebumps on my hands, my body, and all. You know, it's just amazing. I just love it. But I've not been back for 3 seasons now. 2 seasons because of the COVID. The season before I was supposed to go, but I couldn't make it. But normally I try now to go during the opening game of the season, and I've been doing that for quite a few years already. I meet up with a lot of friends, and some of them come in from Cyprus, Malta, different places, the US and all. We meet there for opening game of the season. It's the best game you always say to when Leeds start to play. Yeah.
Cool. And you, Julian?
So I'm just switching on the mic. Well, I haven't been as fortunate as the two of you guys. I went there last March with a fellow Leeds fan, and we were supposed to go for the Fulham and the Luton Town games, and both games were cancelled. So we were just hanging around Leeds. I didn't get to go into the ground, unfortunately, but at least we went to the superstore, the mega store, and then I lost a lot of money there buying merchandise. So yeah, I'm still waiting for my time to go to Ellen Road, and I'm pretty sure that the day will come soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, quite the same experience with me. And what about you, Dr. Oros?
I'm not as lucky as Greg and Clement. I was in the UK for 2 years during 1994 and 1995. That was during my training, and I have only chances to visit the clubs twice during summer. That was during my holidays, but I've never watched a live game in the stadium. And now I think I wish one day I have somebody to accompany me to Airland Road, and I think could be any one of you. Yes, and in the near future, I think after COVID subside and the pandemic was controlled, then we'll have a chance to be there together.
Yeah, well, agrees. And I still hope that we can organize like a tour to go to Ellen Road. And so for Thai fans here, we also organize like a football match taking place in the pub or in restaurants, and then the fans watch it together. So hopefully one day that guys from Singapore and Malaysia can come to Bangkok for the game, or we go there to watch the game with you, and then we get to go to Ellen Road. So now let's move up to the match day talk. So the game today seems to be quite light for both sides because and Leeds won Burnley last time at home. So what your views about Leeds today? Can I start with Pimor, please, Dr. Orot? Yeah. What's your view for today?
For me, I think it's going to be good games since both teams has now in their peak. Yes, they are in good shape, and all the injury and casualties are less than during the beginnings of the years. And last time we had a narrow home win, 1-0 with Bamford penalties. And this time the game is going to be more challenging. We have to be careful with the long balls, cross ball, and the set pieces, like penalty or corner kicks, because it was well played by Burnley. Both teams has no casualty at the moment, and there's no worrying about the league survival. But I think it is the highest rank to achieve at the moment. Who is going to be in the first top half? And I think Bielsa will launch a fully fit team with his attacking style and with his tactics. And the formation could be 4-1-4-1 as usual, or it could be 3-5-2, which deployed double center back, triple center backs to cover two forwards. And there are some interesting issues about our center backs also. Number one is if Cooper is fit for the game, will he get the left center back position from Stroud? Second, will Robin Koch be chosen as defender or defending midfield, and Phillips will play more role in central midfield that bridge with the balls in front. And lastly, people may ask that will Bielsa give another opportunity to Tyler Roberts, or it already was in the game with Tottenham Hotspur. That will be the issue. This is roughly will be about Leeds.
Yeah. So, and can I ask about the current? Can I ask the Singapore teams what your thoughts on Burnley? Are they going to be aggressive?
Well, Burnley they have won away at Fulham recently, right? And I would think they would want to finish higher up the table as possible, just like us. If it's possible to finish the Premier League higher up the table, you would do it. So definitely, I think it's going to be a good fight. But we also have our game plan as usual. So it's all down to our discipline and our fit players who have been more disciplined and fitter this season actually.
Cool. What about you, Craig? What's your thoughts on Burnley? Craig, I think you are on mute.
Yeah, I forgot to take my mic. I forgot to take my microphone off again. I think Burnley are no more in the relegation fight. That's what my best guess is. But saying that, Burnley will have a point to prove because in football, money, every position in the table means a difference in money. The higher up the table you go, the more money you get. So I'm sure Burnley will want to move away from that relegation zone area and climb up more and get a bit of extra income. Now, the other thing is, I'm concerned about this, especially when you have an ex-Leeds player. And Chris Wood will definitely want to show what he can do. Yeah, I know there's been talk and rumor about, probably we could look at a support to Bamford, Chris Wood. This is all talk. But players read things online and they see sort of thing. And if Chris Wood had read that and says, "What?" If I was Chris Wood, I'd say, "What? You mean I'm Bamford's next in line?" And he probably would say, "No, I'm better than him. I've scored more goals in the season, than Bamford." Yeah, but then there was a different league also, And saying that maybe Chris Wood wants to prove a point, says, "Hey, look, I'm better than that guy you got as your center forward." So that's my thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree on that because it seems like many press compare Chris Wood and Bamford already. And
Yes.
exactly. So and also that's also the next questions as well because really want to hear from Clement about Chris Wood because he just scored 5 goals altogether in the last 3 games, including his hat tricks against Wolf. So do you think he is going to be our threat today? And can I get the view? Yeah, can I get this
Sure.
view from Clement, please? Yeah.
Surely he is, and I agree with Gregory. So when Leeds ex-player play against us, you see, So, but hopefully today will be a totally different situation. Okay, finger crossed. Today totally different situation. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I think Burnley they've scored only 33 goals so far. So if you look into the tables, okay, so that's only more than the bottom three, okay, Fulham, Sheffield United, and West Brom, okay. So having said that, they have a very good defensive record, okay. So Chris Wood has a count for total 12 goal and 3 assists. So that's 15. He involved in 15 goals total, which is 40% of the total 33 goals from Burnley. So for sure, he's going to be a big threat to us. Okay, and we all know Chris Wood very well. Okay, he's very strong in the air, and he has got the power, and also physically he's strong. So just like doctor say, okay, so Burnley will target us in terms of the set piece. You see, they are going to attack us on set piece. So the central defender will have to keep their eye all the time on Chris Wood. I also expect talk about ex-player. I think Charlie Taylor's and Pickford Farrell. I think they should start.
Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, it seems like we talk about Chris Wood, and then and let's hear Dr. Orot's view on compare him to Bamford. Do you agree that he's good in the air and might be a threat for us? And compare him to Bamford.
Yes, I think both of them are good players, and both fits well in each team. Wood is an ideal striker with Burnley conventional long balls, and then he could also a ball holder, and he can also pass the ball to his counterparts in attacking the games. And it's going to be a big test for us to all the defense line. Bamford is more or less like Woods, but he played more roles in defending, as well as he's most versatile in carrying the ball in front, and he could pass from side. He can be as a second striker, or if we play as a false nine. And I feel that it's going to be a good game, but both of them are good in each team, as I mentioned before. Wood will fit well in Burnley, and Bamford can play well with us. And we have 2 days rest more than Burnley. And I think that for Burnley, they used to run off the energy in the late second half, like they lost with Manchester United and Southampton. And I think both of them will show how good they are in the games.
Yeah. So, what about your view, Greg? Do you agree? I think you're on mute again.
Much like Clement and Dr. said, yeah, Woods is a different kind of player. I mean, and Woods is physically strong. That's without a doubt. I mean, you just look at the body structure and frame of Woods, and you look at Bamford. They're completely. And Wood actually not Woods. Wood actually Chris Wood actually comes across as a bit of a bull. He's a Didier Drogba type, strength, physical ability, and he pushes his way through. And I agree, Dr. Oro saying that we'll need someone really solid to take on Chris Wood, because he's no he's a threat, in muscling his way and getting his way in terms of the box. And if I know we've improved a lot from corners in defending corners, and we reduce that weakness. But Wood actually could do some damage from corners if he gets his way. So I'm not sure, but maybe Struik, who seems pretty muscular, and possibly I don't know whether Lorente can fill that role or not. But Lorente is a very classy player, but I'm not sure whether he's strong physically. I've not seen that yet. Not that he's not, but not seen that yet. And if you look at Bamford's a very Bamford is in many ways a gifted player. He's technically he's football smart. The way he takes goals is very, very clever. I mean, I can't remember that 2 goals he scored, but there was one between the players and he found such a small gap and put it into the net. Can't remember. I'm bad remembering games. Okay, but that goal was just truly really classy, and different players, but they both get the goals. But Bamford works harder, as I agree. One of them said that works harder from a defensive point and plays higher up front, which is Bielsa's method of play.
So totally agrees with the physiques part, because I think Chris Wood is quite buff, and I think that's fit the traditional football styles of Burnley, while Bamford needs to be fast and, the murder ball that Bielsa get everyone to do. And what about you, Julian? Do you think Wood and Bamford, like, do you have different view from the rest?
No, actually, I'm in total agreement with everybody. Like what Greg said, he's to me he's like the Alan Shearer kind of guy. He's strong, and I mean, you're talking about Chris Woods now, where he's just strong and he just bashes his way through. So it's kind of tricky to compare the two players. Whereas I think that Bamford he's a smarter player. He links up well with the wingers, like Greg said. I think through the training, he's also picked up a lot of pace these days compared to the championship days, and his finishing has improved. Bamford, when we used to watch him in the championship, and he would just miss all those sitters, right? And would just be like, I could have scored that. But when you look at Bamford now, he's not the finished product, but he's getting there. He's a striker to be proud of. You know what I mean? That's my opinion.
Yeah, cool. And earlier we touched about defenders for a bit, and right now, as we can see, that Leeds United has such a good form so far with Lorente and Koch, and so just want to ask Clement. So, what do you think about Lorente and Koch for this season? Because they just started with us.
Okay, so I think both has been very unlucky at the very at the start of the season. So Rolante was out for I think 2 to 3 months, something like that. So and Koch did not have a good start as well. He gave away a lot of penalty in the first few games. Yeah, if I remember correctly, especially but we do see they improve a lot. Okay, especially April. So when we play against the big team, so they stood up. That moment when Len Cooper was sent off in the City game, I went like, oh, it's gone. Okay, so but I think both of them did very great. Okay, so since then, Rolante showed that not only defend, he can also pass the ball. Okay, and he also scored a header. Okay, I'm glad that he already scored a goal for us, opened his account. As for Koch, again improving, and also last few game, interestingly, So when Phillips was injured, so he get to cover play that Calvin Phillips role, and I think he did okay. He did okay, and show that he can cover different position. He can really play the game under Bielsa really well. So I think for both of them under Bielsa under for first year is good. Second year definitely more to come from both of them.
Yeah, and another lead striker that we would like to talk about because he's got like Indonesian blood in him, that's Strauch. So he got called up to fill the role when Phillips was not around, and for me, I think he was a instrumental in our games against Arsenal, and he scored as well. So, what do you think about him? I would like to hear thoughts from our Singapore fans. Yeah, what do you think about Strauch? Oh, can start with Craig first. Oh, yeah, start with Julian first. Yeah. So Julian, what do you think about Strauch?
Wow. Well, obviously he's not the finished product, like because he's still young. But I really admire his work ethic. I think everyone will agree with me. Um, and he's just going to get better playing with top professionals in the league, right? And being coach under Bielsa. But I think it'll just be a matter of time before he gets better. And he should probably take Stuart Dallas as a role model. That guy's been on fire. Huh?
Yeah, agree. So
Yeah.
for the Thai fans, we call Douglas the versatile guy because he can sit around and do everything. Yeah, and so Craig, do you agree with Strauch or what's your views on him?
Me, is it? Okay. Okay. I'm biased. Okay. Stroud is a left-footed player. I have been a right-footed player all my life, but I've improved my left-footed play when I was young till I became left-footed and I was no longer right-footed. So I have a soft spot for people who are left-footed, and I love left-footed players. So we have quite a lot of left-footed players in the team, and I like Strike because I find that he's a good passer of the ball. He's calm. He doesn't seem nervous. He looks like a very mature and comfortable player at his position in centre half. I mean, don't start playing him in out position. Of course, it might prove very costly or it might be dangerous. But Stroy is not only calm, a good passer of the ball, but if you look at him, he's a pretty good head of the ball too, and commanding the air. So played in the right position, and given the fact that Liam Cooper is not hopefully going to take his position back, I'd like to see Stroy playing today actually, instead of Liam Cooper. I know that Cooper is our captain, but I just want to see Stroy playing again.
Oh yeah, cool. And then you mentioned, and I know that Clement started to watch the Leeds because of the left foot, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So I actually got a signal from our admin that the lineup is now ready. So yeah, with the time constraint, should we move to the lineup now?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get Stroud. Cooper
Yeah.
is the substitute.
Yeah, might be, Yeah.
It is just as you wish.
Yeah. I think this is the latest light up. So, Pimo, Dr. Orot, what do you think about our Leeds light up today?
So we have the answer. So the first one is that Cooper is the substitute, and Pascal Stroud is going to be the left center back. For him, I think it's a time for him to practice during this period, as we feel that he is a good defender, but he need to prove how he is going to be because I feel that Llorente and Stroud, they are pairing quite well, but in order to throw the ball in front, you will see that most of the time we leave the ball to Llorente or Phillips. Rarely that you see Stroud who pass the ball in front. And this time it's time for him to prove himself or to practice in the big games. Number two is that Phillips was chosen, whereas Robin Koch is not there even in the substitute bench. Okay, so we get these two answers. And lastly, you notice that Tyler Roberts will start from the bench too, because Rafinha has returned from his injury, and definitely he's going to be the first choice for the right wing, and that pushed Dallas into the central midfield along with Click. It's going to be very interesting that we have good players that I think Bielsa will have problem in choosing these defenders. That's why we have Gaetano Berardi also there on the bench. So I think it's a good team for today, and we hope that the system can work well, because Burnley has got a very good pressing game. So we need to avoid frequent losing balls possession in our half. And moreover, Burnley, they have very good team. This is the team that beats Fulham since I think on Monday. And our defensive line could handle them or not. This is our point, that I think this is the best defending line for us. And we still have a good chance for counter-attacks and open games too, because we have Rafinha back, we have Dallas in his proper position, and I think it's going to be a good game from this lineup.
Yeah, that's cool. And we also have the comment from the viewer at home that hope like we can all join to watch the game at Sportman Bars here in Bangkok. And let's talk about Burnley lineup. So I want to hear from Craig. What do you think about Burnley lineup, and how do you think we are able to beat them? Well, you are on mute. I can read from your lips.
We will beat Burnley. Well, I personally think we will beat Burnley. We will. I don't think we will let any goals in. I think we will score at least 2. But could you show the Burnley lineup again? Yeah. So if you look at it, yes, that's right. I thought I saw that. Yeah. So so we've got Peacock Farrell there as well. So he's also got a point to prove. You didn't keep me, and I wanted more in you. So now I'm gonna show you what I'm made of. Of course, he's gonna wouldn't him. One's a stopper and the other one's a scorer. But again, coming back to Burnley, if I'm not mistaken, I read somewhere that Burnley has a very poor passing rate in the league, and they're one of the lowest in the league. I can't remember where I read it. I think 2-3 months ago. but I don't think Burnley will cause us too much of trouble. That's my opinion. Again, of course, we have to be very careful that with our lineup, I think we will be able to deal with the Burnley players. I don't think we should have a problem because we seem to be at full strength today, and I'm glad that we've got this team out today. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's ask Clement. So do you think like both teams got the best player on marking today?
Yeah, I think this should be the best lineup for both team. Okay. So again, can I have the lineup? Okay. So if we talk about Leeds United, okay. So we have Rafinha and Harrison back on both sides. Okay. So Cleach had a very terrible game in Brighton, okay, but he redeemed himself in last game against Spurs. I think that was one of his best game this season for Cleach against Spurs. So interesting to see how our midfield, Phillips, Cleach, Harrison, and Rafinha, both of them will play. Again, we all know Burnley are going for physical, so there will be a lot of foul from them. Last time on the reverse fixture, I think they committed 14 foul and something like 3 yellow card. Okay, if my research was correct. Okay, so I expect something similar from them, something very physical. Okay, so and also defending all the way. Okay, from Burnley. So interesting to see Rafinha first first game starting. Okay, since his injury, how he play on both side on the other side with Harrison. So talk about Burnley. No surprise. So they got their best strike, both of their best striker back. Woods, Vidra, and their attacking point should be from Westwood, number 11, McNow as well. So I think four of them combined came to 20 goals, something like that. So other than Chris Wood, the other four of them score between 2 to 3 each of them. So this should be the best lineup. So from both sides, and it'll be an interesting game to watch.
Okay, so thank you. So yeah, so our admin teams also have the marking lineup. So do you think this is going to be the strategies for both teams for today? So Juliet, what do you think?
Sorry, could you repeat that again?
Yeah, so now our admin teams got the overall lineup and the formations for today's games. Yeah, so now that you see the lineup, do you think it's going to be this for today's games? So do you,
Probably. I mean, it looks like our regular formation.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we will probably do well because everyone is probably pretty confident in their own positions from what I see. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So actually, before we move to the score predictions, I would like to ask each guest, who is your number one favorite least player for this season? I really want to know. So, Puma or Rotska, can I start with you? So with our current teams, and I mean we know that we're gonna beat Burnley today. Yeah. So who is your most favorite Leeds United for this season?
First of all, from the formation, this time we play 4-1-4-1. So instead of usually that Bielsa used for two strikers, usually he used to play three center backs to cover both central forwards in Burnley's team. I think that it's quite small, but anyway, we have to be aware that Burnley is not just only good in long balls. They have new weapons that Dwight McNeil and Roberts and Cork. They can play well. They are usually attacking. They are attacking from the left side more than the right. The right is just only it is just like opportunistic striker that come from the right, but they attack more on the left. And I think, from my opinion, the formation 4-4-2 for Burnley has got some weak points. That it is our chance that we can break through the gap between, because Burnley do not have the real defending midfield, and they used to keep more space between their midfield line and their defending lines, like between Tarkowski and Westwood, between Ben Mee and Jack Cork. Jack Cork tends to be an attacker more, so they do not have real defending midfield to help them, and the speeds of both defenders, both central back. The center back is slower, so I think Bamford will show his speeds, and he has very good things that whenever he comes from the back, he has a very good, like coming from the blind spots and attack the ball before the central back will reach the ball. And I think it's a good time for us to use the cross ball from Rafinha and Harrison. We have a good chance to score from that too. But it's not going to be a high ball and slow ball. It has to be fast. And they have to use less to increase the rhythm of attacking, not to go too slow, because their midfield will come down and block between the lines, between the space between their wing backs and the central back. That is we call half space. So we have to be fast enough. So I think Bamford will do well in this game, and with the help of both wingers.
So, does everybody agree with this? With this analysis? Seems like everyone's just like, yes, okay. So before we move to the score predictions, because it's 1 hour now, I want to know who is your favorite Leeds players for this season. Yeah. So Dr. Oroz, who is yours?
For this season.
Yes,
this season,
for
I
this
think
season.
I would say it's not yet over, but from the performance, and I think because I would say in overall, I love Llorente. I would say that, because even though he doesn't play much of the game, but I think after he come back and he came and filled up what we missed. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that's improved our defending line. We can say Strauss also, because I think all the attackers are good, but what we miss, or whatever we lack of, I would say that our defense line is much improved with Llorente appearance.
Yeah. So what about you, Clement? Who is your favorite players for this season?
Talk about this with our members in Malaysia. I think most of them will go for Stuart Dallas or Rafinha. I think Rafinha is our members' favorite of all time. You see, I mean, a skillful guy. But personally, I would go for our keeper, Melia. Okay, so I think he really stand out. Okay, so he was only given the chance after Casilla being banned for six matches last season, and since then I think there's no look back. Okay, so as a young keeper, okay, as a young keeper in Premier League against a big team, against and also you know the way we play the game, so we always make our defenses life very fragile for some time. Okay, so but I think he handled the pressure and handled the game really well. So for me, he's my player of the season.
Cool, thanks. And what about you, Craig? Who is your favorite player for this season? You are on mute again.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, he's not my favorite player only of this season, but he's been my favorite player since I saw his first match, and that is Luke Ayling. When I saw Luke Ayling's first game, it was a home game I went to with another Leeds United Bond Scott Singapore member, and we watched that, and we were talking about who's going to show up that season very well. I can't remember. I think it was a 2015-2016 season or something like that. I think when Luke Ayling first played for Leeds, it was a home match, and I thought he did really brilliantly. He was very lively, energetic, and he that uh, showed that he was ready to get involved, and that's what I like about his play. And when we talk about now this season, ever since Bielsa has come on board, I mean, this guy has gotten even better and better, and it's just amazing. I mean, he's just and he's bombing down the right, causing a lot of problems for defenders, left backs. It's amazing what he does. And of course, I like how he celebrates. He's always got some celebration.
Oh yeah,
Pulling his hair out to playing his guitar. He's a rock guy, so
Nice.
yeah. And he deserves an England call up. Yeah, I don't know what Southgate is doing. Watching him, you should just call him up for England.
yeah. I think Southgate is just being like too picky because he tend to forget a lot of good players. And what about you, Julian? Who is your favorite players for this season?
Liking David Betty as I was growing up, I would go for Kelvin Phillips, but I think this season Stuart Dallas has been the revelation for us in Leeds. He's been versatile and he's been really consistent. So I would go with Stuart Dallas for this season.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think our team has great players and so much praise to give to them. What about the score predictions? So let's start with the Malaysian fans. So Clement, what is your score prediction for today?
Well, to be honest, I I have this habit of not predicting a score for this game. To be frank,
Oh
we don't
yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah,
jinx things. Okay,
yeah.
so
Okay,
but
yeah.
I would go for anything with a clean sheet. Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, because you support Melee, you want him to get more clean sheet, I'm sure. Okay, so
clean sheet
anyone
is at
else?
least a point. You see.
Yes, exactly. So, well, that's a very good strategy. Actually, I don't want to jinx the teams, but we need score prediction still. So, let's ask the Singapore side. Do you dare say the score predictions for today?
I would go with 2-1 for us.
Okay, 2-1.
Yeah, because Bailey Peacock Farrell's in goal, so I'm sure we can put two past him. not that I want to jinx it, but you asked for a prediction, and I think it's 2-1 to us.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And what about you, Craig?
3-0.
3-0. Okay. Yeah. And Pimo, huh? What about you?
For me, I think it's going to be a good game, and then both teams has to prove that both of the strikers. I think the score will be 1-2 or 1-3.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds really good. Actually, we have some requests from the viewer that he wants the songs. So any of you would like to share Leeds songs during this live? I admit I cannot sing. Yeah. So we got comment from Paul, Thailand, Paul McDonald. He asked specifically for Julian to give us a song. Yeah.
Sorry, Paul, I'm not a singer at all.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. So I just want to check.
And I
with
don't know
our
many songs
admin.
actually.
Yeah. I just want to check with our admin backstage. Do we have questions from the audience today? Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah. Ooh, actually we have marching on together from Utah as well. This coverage going well, and truthfully hope that we can do this again in English, and then let Leeds in Leeds know that we are here in this side of the world to support them. So actually, I think it's about 15 minutes to the game. So I think I would like to conclude the show now, and thank you very much for joining us. And I really hope that you can join us again and follow each other's page. For us, is Leeds United supporters clubs in Thailand. So just want to say thank you everyone, and good luck for the games, and see you next time. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Craig, Clement,
Thank
and
you.
Julian. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next time.
See you.